So with Dak, every other organization, they either are firmly committed behind their quarterback and pay them, or they say, hey, we got to cut bait, it's not you. In Dallas, the idea that we're talking about paying the wide receiver, paying the defensive end whose deal's up 2 years from now, when the quarterback is out here still looking to get paid, it's my frustration is the other organizations don't work like that. The most important position is the quarterback, and that's who you pay first, and then you figure out, okay, how do we allocate the rest of the money? And Dallas is the only place that doesn't move like that. I don't know why.
It's a very tricky spot they're in. They have 3 big stars on defense, offense, and quarterback who at times have underachieved, especially the quarterback and Parsons. Let's be fair about Parsons. That defense in postseason has been terrible.
Last year.
I know. How about San Francisco 2 years ago? They ran all over them in the game in Dallas. They ran all over
What
them.
was the score? I think San Francisco scored like 16, 17 points.
That was the year before that one. Dak screwed up the last play of the game when he didn't know how to spike the ball.
Okay.
San Francisco ran the ball all over him, and he was been in the anchor of that defense. And then you have, now listen, you can pay Lamb. I understand. But
come on now.
Did that defense play well against Dallas, against Green Bay last year?
Guys,
Shouldn't I give him some responsibility for that?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't you feel like the coach deserves some responsibility in the play calling?
You're going to put everything on Dak?
Think of all the
Can I help you out?
No, I don't want your help. I'm not done.
Can I help you out?
No. Think about all, I know you like my outfit. It's fine. Think of all the...
Right. I mean, I like it, but the shoulders, but go ahead.
Shoulders?
Go ahead. No, the strap. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah, there's multiple ways you could wear it, but I'm focused. Okay.
You brought it up.
No, back to, well, I could tell you were like...
No, I wasn't. That's not what I was doing. I was just looking at you because I'm saying, Molly, it's not that we don't know.
Stephen A., play calling. You told me after a quarterback, the second most important thing is play calling for a quarterback. How many penalties? How undisciplined was this team? More than anyone in the NFL. Mike McCarthy, you feel like Mike McCarthy is Andy Reid?
Let me get at you with this, okay?
Go ahead.
Molly is the matriarch of this show.
Yeah.
Molly knows television.
Yeah.
We know McCarthy's responsible too. We just don't care about him right now.
I do care.
Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb are more compelling than Mike McCarthy at this particular moment.
Not.
At this particular moment. Who cares about Mike McCarthy? We know.
Who's the most compelling? Jerry Jones, and that falls under Jerry Jones, and we've talked about it, where he didn't want that. He could have had Bill Belichick.
But he ain't going anywhere.
He could have had Sean. He's not going anywhere. He could have had Sean Payton.
All things that were chronicled right here on this show. We all know this is true about Jerry Jones. I'm just saying he ain't gonna fire himself, and damn it, he ain't gonna fire McCarthy. But CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Dak Prescott are looking for their bag.
We've talked about how they've had elementary offenses. That's a factor in all of this as well, and Dak's success.
If you don't believe
it's not sexy enough for you, but
sexy
but
she said sorry if you don't want to talk about facts.
Sexy. Hold on, wait a minute.
That's what she said.
Well, I really need you to calm down with the head movement.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
All I'm trying to say is
Can I just tell you the most infuriating thing a man can say to a woman?
Relax.
Is relax and calm down.
You're lucky I didn't take it up a notch with that.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, and my retort to that would be, you are sitting across from a woman that says pause. So I get to sit up there and say relax if she's going to say pause.
You guys get to yell and scream all the time, and I'm not like mad dog.
Calm down.
You don't
be so emotional.
That's what we're doing now. Molly,
relax.
You're just getting yourself. Carmen and them are watching you, just getting yourself in a world of trouble. I'm gonna stick my sisters on you. I'm not dealing with it because this is what they get on Molly about this stuff. They're gonna get on her. They're gonna get on her.
Cooking together.
I promise you, those plans would change and mess with her brother now.
Ooh.
You ain't special, Molly, but you ain't her little brother. I promise you that. Now, anyway, let me say this to you. I get the part about CeeDee Lamb. I understand what you're talking about in terms of the players. What I'm saying is this. We've said religiously about the importance of the quarterback position. We don't need to lament that. But the biggest thing is this. This brother doesn't show up when it counts most. And so as a result, I'm thinking about a Micah Parsons. Do you realize over the last few years, his first 3 years in the league, he's 4th in sacks. He's got over 40 sacks. The people that have more sacks than him, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa. Come on now. This is who this brother is.
Yes.
And all I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say you don't pay them. We know Dak gonna get his bag. We know that CeeDee Lamb better get his bag. But in terms of priority for the mystique of the Dallas Cowboys and what it represents, supposedly, that brother right there, Micah Parsons, who says nothing. He just goes out there. He ain't trying to bother nobody. This brother shows up and produces. And that's what I'm saying. I want to pay that man.
You don't think
I want to pay that man.
More problems, though? A guy who has 2 years out, you pay him first, and CeeDee is looking at you saying, where's my money?
That's
you don't
a great
think
point.
that...
No. You know what? That's a very valid
Hey, I have a
point.
question. If Dak Prescott had Vince Lombardi, all right?
I think there is a problem there. It's a good point.
Would you believe in him a little more?
Think of the great combinations in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And one of them is Lombardi's star.
Yeah.
Or Walsh, Montana. Belichick, Brady.
I thought Belichick should have had the Dallas job.
We all thought that.
Yeah.
So,
Does McCarthy and Prescott on that level?
Exactly.
The answer is not.
No.
but that's to Molly's point earlier. Yeah. I know it's not as sexy. We're talking about the players. But if you're a Cowboys fan and you don't believe in Dak, they gave him money before. That's the guy that they thought, oh, he can take us there. Now we're in a situation where they have kicked the can down the road to the point where Dak has all the leverage. That's a front office issue. The fact that they're in this position. Jerry hired the head coach. So I understand Dak is at fault for the playoff record, but there's so much blame to go around in this organization.
I will say this too, and this is where I would challenge you on that. Fair enough. But you had a top-notch offense over the last 3 years, and you have nothing to show for it. See, if you are stinking up the joint, or you are struggling during the regular season, and it's similar in the postseason, I get it. There's a difference. We understand the argument about the market. There is no argument. But the other side is, I got to give this to you because
I have to ask Mad Dog
not
something.
because you deserve it.
Mad Dog, have we seen enough on Dak Prescott, and I know he's been in the league quite a bit, to fairly judge if he's good enough to really get it done and win a Super Bowl? Or would you say that we really need to see him in another offense?
If you're asking me right now, do I think he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback? The answer is no. Now,
but
Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not a playoff winning quarterback.
But are you sure of that? Like, are you sure if he was with another
a great coach and all that?
I
can't put all the blame on McCarthy. I can't do that. I agree with you. A little. Absolutely, a little. But, I mean, he has. Remember, he wasn't great in others. Jason Garrity, he lost some playoff games, too.
Is it McCarthy's fault that Dak Prescott threw those interceptions in the playoffs?
Wait, let Mad Dog finish.
No, Steve's right. You know he's not. See, here's the problem.
Don't look at me like that.
This is a salary cap sport. And so you are forced, because of the position, to pay your quarterback more than he's worth, which then affects what you can pay everybody else. It's one thing to pay Mahomes $50 million. You know he's going to win championships for you. You want to pay Burrow that? You figure he can win championships for you.
Why is it? I don't
now
understand.
You're paying this guy that.
Why is it next man up? Right? It's not next person at ESPN is going to get the net. Like, why is that how it works?
That's a good point.
Why isn't it based on talent? Why is it just, oh, you're the next quarterback, you're Trevor Lawrence, so you're going to get $50 million, you're going to get 55,
because you're
regardless.
The most important position.
I'm out. You really want to know the answer to that question? Because
I knew you'd have an answer, sir. Okay. I know you have an answer.
When they say the market dictates it, what that means is that the other side of the business is getting paid. So how come you can't get some of it? If there's no money there, nobody's saying that. But when you sit up there, for example, when the NFL players go to the negotiating table and they're asking for more, why are they asking for more? They're not asking for more just because they're on the field putting their bodies on the line. They're asking for more because the NFL continues to create revenue streams for themselves. And as your revenue stream builds, it's building off the back of the players that go out there and perform.
Not the most valuable.
Time out. Again, you have to understand about the market with the quarterback position, with the running back position. Why? Because you can sit up there and get hurt in practice. You can come to me in the NFL and go like this. You know something? You didn't have that great of a year. I'd like you to restructure your deal. I'd like you to take a pay cut. You can't do that with the NBA. You can't do that with Major League Baseball for the most part. You can certainly do that in football. So all of those things come into play because business matters. And in the end, if you're CeeDee Lamb, you sat up there and you waited for Justin Jefferson.
So tell me this then. One is, I understand Tom Brady's a unique situation, right? But when is somebody going to pull a Tom Brady and say, I want a ton of Super Bowls, so I'll take a little bit of less so we can pay the guys around me?
The way Patrick's deal was set up was, it was team friendly, and then they restructured it. Yeah, guys have done that, but
you can get incentives. You can get taken care of on the back end.
Your quarterback Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're 29th in the power rankings.
but that's the market. So 65 million, when we look at Dak and what Schefter had said, he's projected next year to break the market if he ends up getting to free agency and all that. But it is what it is, Molly. Like that's the whole point. Like the 65 million now is not the same as
the one dynasty we have. They didn't do that.
That NFL teams have, the salary cap keeps going up. So just because the figures that you're paying these players seem like, oh my God, it's crazy that you're paying a quarterback $50 million. You can't look at it through the lens of Tom Brady from 10 years ago. The landscape has changed, and the players deserve their figures to go up.
Absolutely.
Just like these teams are making more money and having the salary cap.
But there's also
as well.
a very hold on, Molly, because this is important. This is about your Tom Brady point. This is what never gets mentioned about Tom Brady. Yeah, you took pay cuts.
But
after you went after your money. In other words, he wanted the license to be able to say, okay, I'll give back, but don't come to the negotiating table with me telling me that I'm worth this when you know I'm worth that. Now, if you want me to take a cut for the good of the team, that's an entirely different argument than saying, this is what we think you deserve.
Could you then, I understand the argument of players getting paid, owners are getting paid. Of course, I want players to get paid. But could there be a little restructuring in how it's evened out in terms of quarterbacks and the rest of the players then? Do the quarterbacks need to make that exorbitant amount of money compared to the rest of the players? I'm sorry, I thought it's defense wins championships. I thought defense in a running game travels as well. All those things matter.
Well,
and these guys aren't getting taken care of.
That is what, first of all, that's what the defensive players are saying. It's just that very few of them have the cachet publicly to articulate those thoughts and get away with that without causing trouble within the organization for themselves. Because I can assure you, numerous defensive players that I've spoken to really lament the payment that's doled out to these quarterbacks. They got a real big-time problem with a whole bunch of dudes that are getting paid at the quarterback position in the NFL.
They're billionaires complaining about how many millions they are paying quarterbacks. I understand your point. Wouldn't it be nice if the quarterback took a little less so that everybody can eat? But just because my contract is up, that shouldn't affect Mad Dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality. That's what we're talking about.
But it does in the NFL.
But you're talking again about billionaires. So when fans get on players for being greedy, it's like, whoa, wait 1 second. Because all of these owners are billionaires, and it's not if you're going to say the quarterback position is the most important, it's got to be paid.
We're not disagreeing.
No,
we're not disagreeing, but you're not bringing up the fact that during a collective bargaining negotiation, because you got a hard cap.
Yeah.
So during a collective bargaining negotiation, you got to go for what you know and get all that you can get, okay? Yeah. I remember years ago when Mark Cuban made news, Mark Cuban sat up there, the players were arguing about dollars and cents, and they were negotiating a collective bargaining agreement. Mark Cuban looked at us, he said, you see the lights in this arena? We pay for that. See the travel? We pay for that. He brought up a litany, a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of expenditures that come along with he said, you talking about what we make. You're not talking about how much we have to spend and what we walk home with.